The district manager job is the most challenging position in the retail and franchise industry. And the reason for that is because usually the person that is taking over that role is coming from having been a successful single unit manager where all of their role and responsibilities were within a four walls of the business. And now they're going into a multi-unit situation where different units are at different distances. They are in different situations and challenges. The team dynamic from unit to unit is different. The challenges and opportunities of the results are different. And all of that, they need to be able to manage, oversee, identify opportunities, cause change, and inspire within the same amount of a regular hour work week. And that is the reason why a lot of district managers or multi unit leaders struggle in their job performance. We believe that there are 7 critical responsibilities that the district managers must execute with a high level of excellence to be able to be effective and successful at their job. In this session, we're going to cover the responsibility number 5 of maintain. If you want to see the prior 4 responsibilities, you can go back to the playlist of the district manager responsibilities and you will find all the prior ones right there. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the responsibility of maintain is basically ensuring that all of the units that they oversee are clean and in good working order. There is many reasons why this is important for the business and a critical responsibility for the district manager. One of them is the fact that obviously is the image of your business. You invested into a franchise that has a specific image and expectation from your customers. And it is important that your business leaders are keeping up with that image, whether it is that they are in working order or the cleanliness of it. And for that reason, it is a critical responsibility for the district manager. Another reason why that, this responsibility is so important is because it defines the work environment where the people are working. You want the unit to be clean and in good condition, not only for the customers, but also for your people. And nowadays, this is very important, especially with all the staffing challenges that the entire industry and really, the country is experiencing right now. Obviously, if the unit is clean and in good working order, it's also safe. Safe for your people, safe for your customers, safe for your vendors, safe for everybody. And that's another reason why keeping a unit clean and a good working order is so important. And last but not least is because if anything happens, if something is not working right, you may experience revenue interruption. And that means that you won't have the sales. If you don't have sales, you don't have a business. And so that is why this is a critical responsibility for the district manager. Now, there are 6 elements that the district manager needs to oversee as a leader of all of these units. So let's go ahead and go over them a little bit so that you can see. And as you're hearing this, really define and see where you are in your organization in regards to each and every one of these elements. And does your district manager know them? And can they execute them and supervise them with a high level of excellence? So the first one, you need to have a unit preventive maintenance plan. That means that your district manager and your team must be a step ahead of your equipment, especially if you are a equipment intense business model, something like food service or car washes, or maybe you have equipment on personal services. If your business depends on this equipment, it is very important that you have a preventive maintenance plan so that you can get ahead of the game and make sure that the equipment does not break down ahead of time. This will save you money and it will prevent downtime, which can cause revenue interruption. The second element that the district manager needs to follow up on is a unit cleaning maintenance plan. Like I mentioned, cleanliness is important for your people, it's important for your customers. And so having a clear maintenance, a cleaning plan for your units is going to be very important. This will ensure that the environment is proper and that everybody feels great to work and be in your business. The third element is you want to have a maintenance budget and policy and process. So obviously there are going to be investments in your maintenance. So, and for you to be able to delegate that properly and your people to know what to do, there needs to be a defined, clear policy for the budget and how it should be spent and a process for approval. Do you have that? It is going to be very important. If you have that, now your people can then make the right decisions at the right time. And when there needs to be, they can come to you for further approvals. The fourth element on the maintain responsibility is to have a redundancy plan. There are many franchise businesses where that use equipment that will have two of the same as part of the basic equipment package. And the reason for that is because those pieces of equipment are either critical for the business or they break down easy. And for that reason, you have an automatic redundancy plan. Now, obviously, there's equipment that is too expensive, so therefore you really cannot have redundancy on everything. But what is your plan if something breaks down? What do you do, and how do you make sure that you can correct and redirect quickly when an equipment goes down? So this is something that your district manager needs to know, and so that they can execute and implement immediately when this happens. And then number five, the fifth element is a contingency plan. This is when something that is a natural or man-made disaster happens. Something that could affect your business. And so what is the contingency plan when this happens? I remember that when I was overseeing several Olive Gardens in the Georgia region, we had one of our coolers go down because of the power outage in the whole area. And when we inquired, we were informed that it was going to take a while for us to recuperate. You can imagine how much product we had in our cooler. And so, but the brand had a contingency plan. We quickly were able to call a service company. They brought us a one of those 18-wheeler trucks that was refrigerated and quickly moved all the product into that container, and it remained there until the power came back. For that reason, we didn't lose tens of thousands of dollars of product because of it. So do you have a contingency plan? What is your plan if there is a natural or man-made disaster that interrupts your equipment or your business or your ability to operate? And this is something that if you have that plan, your district manager, multi-unit leader should be able to be trained on and execute it on behalf of their units. And the last element that you need to have in the maintenance responsibility is to be able to have effective unit visits. In those effective unit visits of the district manager or multi-unit leader, they are able to follow up on all of these elements that we spoke about. If they have a proper structured, visit, then they are able to make sure that all of these systems and processes and procedures are executed and implemented with a high level of excellence. And that is what their responsibility is. So I hope that this was helpful for you, that you got value out of it, that you made some notes. And if you want to see, like I mentioned, all the other critical responsibilities, you can subscribe to our channel. If you're not on YouTube, come over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel so that you can then catch the future responsibilities as we release them every week, and also watch the ones that we already did in the past in our playlist of responsibilities of a district manager, and you can learn a lot from that. Now, if you have a district manager and you know that they do not have the proper training, that you would like to have a much more structured job for them and guidance and development, you may want to inquire or look into our multi-unit leadership certification program. In there, we train district managers in their role, the 7 critical responsibilities, and the routines that they need to execute day in and day out to be able to be effective and successful. If this is something that interests you, all you have to do is go to districtmanagertraining.com, register to a free information session, and learn all about the program so that maybe this is something that you've been looking for to help your district managers not only be effective and successful at their job, but also to have work-life balance. Because what happens when they do not have the skills and the abilities and the tools to do the job right, then they end up working way too many hours, which ends up leading them to burnout and then sometimes disappointment and leaving the job. So let's not make that happen. Come on over, learn about our program, and see if we can help you be successful and achieve your business and financial goals. That's it for now. We'll see you in the next session when we cover the responsibility number 6 of market, so that we can then give you that information and pass it on to your district manager. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next session. Bye-bye.